Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Diamond Baby back with another video. And I told you guys I was gonna be back with a video, and I actually did it this time. Look at me being a girl of my word. Period. Love to see it. We were talking about how I was able to lose and keep off 25 pounds of grief and depression weight. It's real, it happens to the best of us, but it's okay. You can get through it as long as you have a plan and you stick to it and you remain disciplined, okay? Discipline is going to be the word of the day, honey. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Grab you a pen and paper if you need it, because I'm about to be dropping some gems. And yeah, you need to take some notes, honey. Of course. Rosie's here to talk about how she supported me through the journey, because she definitely did. Didn't you, girl? Period. Let them know, honey. Okay? As I mentioned in my previous video, y'all, make sure you guys check out my life update video, because a lot has changed with your girl, Diamond. In the process of grieving the loss of my father, moving to Houston, dealing with depression and loneliness and all the things that make you want to eat, I gained 25 pounds. 25 pounds. The girl was thick, okay? Look, I'm about to put in a picture of how big I had gotten. And I know some people, they might be like, did you have to do that? Cut. I know that some people, they might be like, girl, you wasn't that big. For me, I was big, okay? Typically, my weight is around like 155, 160. I feel like a little over 160, like 163 is where I'll be chilling at, you know? I'm a very solid girl because I did CrossFit and powerlifting for so long. I lift heavy weights, honey. I even competed and all that. I don't have a lot of body fat. Well, I typically don't. I did when I gained the weight, but typically, you know, I'm like full of muscle. So people will be like, oh, you don't look that big, but I'm like, I am that big. And so I'm 5'7". So anyways, let me get to the point. When I gained weight, I had gotten up to like almost 185. I've never been that big in my life. Like even when I was little and I was like going through my chunky girl phase, I have never been, you know, 185. When I say little, I mean like middle school, because I was a thick elementary school kid. Middle school kid, child. Even then, before I started my health and wellness journey and became a group fitness instructor and all that, I wasn't even 185 then, honey. I had gotten up to 185, and that's when I realized, like, girl, it's time to make a change. Like, I know that you're going through it and you had to do whatever you can to be okay, honey, but I was uncomfortable in my body, literally, because my clothes did not fit. I didn't have anything that fit. I had to buy new clothes, and then buying clothes that big was crazy to me because, and again, big for me. If this is your size, that's fine. We all hold our weight differently. But for me, it was like I had to buy jeans that were like a size 11. So that was big for me. To the point where I didn't really want to go anywhere. I just felt like I just was stuffed. I felt like men wouldn't be checking for me. We can sit here and act like that doesn't matter, but it does matter. Like when you go out, you want to get some attention from men. Like if you want to act like it's not true, cool, but I'm gonna keep it real over here. You want to get attention from men, especially in Houston. The girls be bad, okay? Maybe back home in Seattle, I could get away with maybe not being my best self and still look like better than a lot of the women. And I'm not saying not competing, but y'all know what I'm saying. But in Houston, I feel like you gotta be stepping, like you gotta be a big stepper, because the girls out here are beautiful and they're gonna step every single time. Me just trying to go out and I don't really have clothes that I feel confident in. I don't feel confident because I know I've gained a lot of weight. Like, and even though I probably looked great, I just didn't feel good. I said that when I was ready to lose the weight, I would. I'm ready now. It's time to lock in and make it happen. I kind of started working on losing the weight when I found like my fitness routine, which was pretty much going to Orange Theory across the street, and also my apartment gym, because I have a beautiful, huge apartment gym, which I'm grateful for that. I would say the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, I kind of was getting to the groove of just making sure I'm doing my workouts consistently. But when it came to the food, honey, I was still ordering that oxtail plate. I was still ordering the fish platter. I was still eating all the things. I was like, I just need to get in the habit of working out first. So that was my first step, is building the habit of working out. Once you get that out the way, I feel like that is the best thing that you can do, is build the habit of working out, which has never really been a problem to me because I never really stopped working out. But I can say, like, I probably wouldn't be going 5 to 6 days a week, maybe 3. It wasn't hard for me to get back into the routine of working out. Once I got into that and I found my workout split that I was comfortable with and I was enjoying it, then I was like, okay, June, I'm locking in with nutrition. Nutrition is the biggest part of losing weight, you all. Being in a calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. You are going to hear me say that so many times because that is the only way that you can lose weight. The only way you can lose weight is being in a calorie deficit. There are a couple ways you can do that. You can be in a calorie deficit by working out and burning calories, and you can be in a calorie deficit by eating less. Simple, very simple, but for some reason, a lot of people just don't understand that. And people end up overeating because the thing about being in a calorie deficit is you have to actually understand how many calories you're consuming. And I know that probably sounds crazy, like, oh, dime, I can just go into MyFitnessPal and type in that I had me a double cheeseburger for Wendy's. But, sis, you never really know how many calories is in that double cheeseburger from Wendy's because you don't know how much grease they're using. You don't know how thick that slice of cheese was. You don't know if that patty is the actual size that it says it's going to be in that book. You don't know how much butter they put on that bun. You don't know how greasy that bacon was. You don't know. There's no way of knowing. Or even Chipotle. People go to Chipotle and they feel like, oh, Chipotle's healthy. And I put in everything in the app. MyFitnessPal said that my burrito bowl was only 600 calories. They lied, sis. They definitely lied to you because you don't know that person behind that counter at Chipotle who's making your burrito bowl. You don't know if that scoop of cheese is a serving or 2 servings, 3 servings, or 4. They got the hand. Their hand is not measuring how much cheese that is. Or when they scoop that sour cream, their hand is the person that's measuring that. But they're not literally getting a tablespoon and saying, okay, 1 tablespoon of sour cream, let me put that on there. They're just scooping that shit on there, friend. So you don't know. You don't know how much oil they use when they decided to grill up that chicken that day. You don't know any of those things. You don't know if that scoop of rice is 1 serving or if it's 2. So you can put in that information into your calorie tracker, but you don't even know. And most likely, if you were to take that bowl home and put it on a food scale, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 times what it's supposed to be. So you really have to make sure that if you want to be in a calorie deficit, you are cooking your food at home. That is major. That is major. You have to cook your food at home. You have to weigh your food at home so that you know exactly how much food you're consuming. And that was the biggest thing when it came to losing the weight. The biggest. Once I started pretty much meal prepping, you don't have to meal prep. You could just weigh, cook your food and weigh it every single day. But meal prepping is obviously a way to automate your life and make things easier for you. But that's when the weight started really falling off because I was literally in a calorie deficit. Because I could see that each day I was burning my 500 calories from my workout, and I'm also eating on a calorie deficit because I used a calorie calculator to get what was the deficit for me, and I answered the questions on the calorie calculator accurately to know what my deficit was. And I'm eating my meals, I'm tracking them, I'm weighing them, everything is cooked at home. I'm not using a bunch of oils, heavy oils, and I'm not eating a bunch of sugar and all that stuff. So I know I'm in a calorie deficit truly. So now I'm going to lose weight because the only way for you to lose weight is what? Be in a calorie deficit. Come on, friend, you got it, period. One of the major things to being in a calorie deficit, or that helped me be in a calorie deficit, was like using olive oil spray. And here's the thing, besties, like olive oil isn't bad for you, but it can be high in calories. Olive oil, avocado oil, all that stuff that you think is healthy, like 1 tablespoon is like 150 calories. So using the olive oil spray, which is 0 calories for anything that I cooked, I pretty much use the air fryer for everything. And then also using I can't believe it's not butter spray for any type of breads that I had was like major key, because I'm not sitting there, drowning my stuff in oil and butter, adding on more calories. So those are key for me, literally. I don't cook with anything else, okay? And then, like I said, not using any sauces, barbecue sauce, ranch, honey mustard, all that stuff is sugar, honey. It's sugar and extra calories onto your meal. You'll be adding 200-300 calories onto your meal, don't even realize it. So I just cut that stuff out, and I would use sugar-free sauces. So G Hughes, a black-owned business. G Hughes has a bunch of sauces that are good. So I had sugar-free barbecue sauce, sugar-free honey mustard, sugar-free sweet chili wing sauce. Like all the sauces that I would eat any other time, I got the G Hughes version of it, sugar-free. So I wasn't consuming any sugar from sauces. And honestly, I wasn't consuming any sugar at all because I wasn't even drinking alcohol. If I did, I would just do tequila and soda water because again, there's no sugar in that. Soda water is 0 calories. The tequila is empty calories, which you typically don't want to eat a bunch of empty calories, but that's better than having a lemon drop that's full of sugar. And just making sure that I'm just drinking water only. Water is all that you need. You really don't need anything else. If I did have coffee, I would make it at home for the most part. If I did go to Starbucks, I pretty much would just get like an iced coffee and do sugar-free syrup. Or I would just get the iced coffee plain myself and then use my own sugar-free syrups as well. Buy Skinny Girl syrup. So I have a whole coffee bar with all the stuff that I need, everything sugar-free. So that was pretty much the major key, was cutting out all the sugar, all the dairy, all the extra sauces, all the added on oils, measuring my food, weighing my food, only eating at home, cutting out the kicking it, just locking in, staying disciplined because it was all temporary. I did not have to do this long term. Like obviously it's a long term lifestyle change, but as far as being extremely strict, once I hit my goal, I now have the resources I need to be able to kind of eyeball my food and kind of know when something is too much and kind of just like mentally shrink my stomach from knowing like that's way too much food, I don't need to eat that. That's way too much sugar, I don't need to eat that, you know? So that was the first step that really changed everything. The second step was knowing the workouts that I needed for my body type. And a lot of people hear me talk about this on Instagram, but there are 3 body types that you could fall into the category of. You can have an endomorph, an ectomorph, or a mesomorph. And so go ahead and do your own research on that. You might find some videos on here. I would do a quick Google search. You can even take like an online quiz to see what your body type is, or even ask your doctor, your primary care physician. But I have an endomorph body type, and I have known that for a long time. So for me to lose weight, I have to be somebody that does not eat a bunch of sugar and dairy because that stuff goes right to my stomach. I have to do high intensity interval training to actually be burning calories during a workout. That's why workouts like Orange Theory and workouts like CrossFit, those high intensity workouts work well for me. And another thing with that is you kind of have to be aware of like what kind of carbohydrates you can eat, what kind of carbs you can eat. I don't know why I had to say carbohydrates. Look, can't even say it. Knowing that information will help you do the workouts that you need to lose weight. So for example, for me, there's some girls that can be on TikTok and they just like, oh, I just go to the gym 3 days a week and I just lift weights and that's it. And I lose weight. Not me, honey. Not my body type. I have a pear-shaped body, which is a part of being an endomorph. Typically you have a pear or apple-shaped body, meaning that I'm smaller up top, but I am thicker on the bottom, honey. And I hold most of my weight in my thighs and my butt. That's where most of the weight is, you know, and I typically tend to gain weight easier if I'm not doing all the things that I just mentioned. So knowing your body type and working out for your body type is very important because if you sit there and you follow what somebody else does, it's okay to be motivated by them, but if it doesn't work for your body type, you're not going to see the results that you want, and you will end up being discouraged. So make sure you guys go ahead and look that up because it'll change the game forever. It's something that I kind of struggled with when I first was becoming a group fitness instructor, and I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be, and I did lots of research so that I could help out my clients, and we all started losing weight, honey, period. My last point pretty much falls into everything else I was saying. Obviously, working out pretty much, but the thing about it is you have to find something that you enjoy. Don't do something that you hate doing. If you hate it, like it makes you want to like gag every time you think about it. For example, going to Orange Theory makes people want to gag thinking about it. You're not going to keep going if you hate doing it. Find something that you like to do, enjoy it, and work on progressing within that. Work on challenging yourself within something that you like doing. I love Orange Theory. It makes me happy. It's like exactly what I need. It's the perfect amount of cardio, the perfect amount of strength training. I can, challenge myself with heavier dumbbells. I can challenge myself with, pushing on the treads. I used to hate running, so Orange Theory helps me run and put that into my routine because it's something that I want to get better at. But if you know like you're going to hate it, stick to something that you like doing, okay? Like I think that's one of the most important things that you can do is like make working out enjoyable. And start slow, like gradually build up. Focus on your nutrition first, gradually build up your workout stamina and go from there. You don't have to jump into everything all at one time. You see, I said earlier, like I first started off with making sure that I can do consistent workouts. Then I started focusing on my nutrition. Honestly, for most people, I probably would recommend the opposite. For me, working out is just something that I've always done, so it's easier to start that way. But honestly, you can start with just your nutrition first, get that handled, and then add in the workout, and you really don't see the weight fall off like that, honey. And again, I'm not a professional or nothing like that, so I'm not saying like what I say is law, but I'm saying that it's helped me and it did help my clients in the past. I get the information to my friends, it helps them out. So I think that is pretty, good advice, but always, talk to your doctor about it. If you want to hire a personal trainer, you can do that. If you want to, just do it on your own, do it on your own. Just make sure you're doing research and doing what works for you and your body. What you see on TikTok is not always going to be what you should be doing, because a lot of these people on TikTok be capping. And a lot of people on TikTok, to be honest with you, a lot of them are girls that went from slim to like a little bit thicker, opposed to girls that went from being thick and they're trying to lose weight. And I ain't never been the girl that was slim. That ain't never been me, honey. Never. Not since I was like 5. I always had thighs and pies. So, you got to find people that are relatable as well. If you do have some TikTok inspiration, I'm not saying that it's bad, because I myself am going to be posting more about wellness just because it's so important to me. But make sure it's somebody that you can relate to. Make sure it's somebody that looks like you, has the same journey as you. You probably don't want to be mimicking somebody who has always been skinny or slim and they're trying to get, thicker and a little bit more buff, It's pretty much those simple things, y'all. Pretty much being in a calorie deficit from working out and eating well. And then also just doing what feels good and what's fun and knowing your body type. Those are probably the 3 major things that helped me in this journey, and it's helped me keep the weight off. Like I said, I'm still able to kind of enjoy myself a little bit more now. I'm able to go out and about because the workouts that I do consistently and me eating well, I've been able to build muscle. When you build muscle, you're not going to gain a bunch of weight just from going to happy hour one night, or having Wendy's one day, so I'm able to have a good social life, but I'm also still working towards getting that dream body. I love my body now, how it looks, but I do want to keep building and toning and all that stuff. And so I'm like slow and steady wins the race. Like I'm comfortable with my body now, I'm going to enjoy my life, but also keep improving. So that's pretty much the tips that I have for you all. That was kind of just like a high level overview. So if you want me to kind of dive deeper into anything that I just mentioned in this video, let me know. I'm happy to do it. Just let me know in the comments or something, or message me on Instagram if you want to send me a DM because you want it to be private. That works for me as well. I got y'all. I'm y'all bestie. You my friends, okay? Period. I love you all so much. Make sure you follow me on social media. Dimey Baby, I make it easy for you. And also follow my business page, please. Multifaceted Black Girl Inc. on Instagram, just for a little bit of Black girl magic, if you will. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.